Hello friends, welcome to the course Atoms and Molecules for MSc Physics Semester 2 as per the revised syllabus of Savitribai Phule Pune University CBCS 2019 pattern. We are studying our second module, Molecules. So in this lecture, we will study the bonding mechanism in molecules. So we know that there are 118 elements known so far, and all these elements combine with each other under certain conditions to give rise compound particles called as molecules or simply compounds. So the process of formation of these compounds by combination of two or more atoms of the same or different elements to form molecules is known as chemical bonding. The result of this phenomenon is called a chemical bond. So atoms or ions are held together in molecules or compounds by this chemical bond. The term bond may be presumed to be synonymous with force. Hence, a chemical bond is defined as the strong force of attraction which can hold a group of two or more atoms together. The type and number of electrons in the outer electronic shells of atoms or ions are instrumental in how atoms react with each other to form stable chemical bonds. A single bond binds two atoms, though multiple bonds may also exist between two atoms. For example, carbon can form up to 4 bonds with other atoms. So, two carbon can form single, double or triple bond between them. The interatomic forces between the atoms are basically electrostatic in nature and are a direct consequence of the electronic structure of the atoms. So when the atoms come closer and finally unite to form molecules, their electrons rearrange themselves in such a way as to achieve a stable configuration. And therefore, the properties of compounds may differ from those of the individual atoms involved. So in bonding, due to the significant change in the electronic structure of the individual atoms due to bond formation. Therefore, the properties of the compounds may differ from those of the individual elements involved in bonding due to the significant change in the electronic structure of individual atoms due to bond formation. And therefore, we can suggest 5 basic types of bonds. So, what is meant by bonding? So, it is attraction between atoms or ions. So, there are several types of chemical bonds. So, ionic bond, covalent bond, van der Waals bond, or molecular bond, hydrogen bond and metallic bond. Let us now study the ionic bond. An ionic bond is a type of chemical bond which forms through an electrostatic attraction between a positive ion and a negative ion. Ionic bond, so that is the bond between oppositely charged ions involving a total transfer of electrons between atoms. So ion means a charged particle and cation that means which have loose electrons and become positively charged. It will bond to the anions which gain electrons and become negatively charged. So one atom gains an electrons and one atom loses an electron, right? So the now oppositely charged ions are attracted to each other due to the electrostatic attraction. So mainly this kind of bonding is formed in the compounds like NaCl, KOH, etc. So it is a very strong bond between two different atoms. One has low ionization potential and the other has high electron affinity, right? If the two atoms involved in which one atom has a low ionization potential and the other has a high electron affinity. So ionic bonds usually are formed by bonding between metals and non-metals. So metal loses electrons to form cation and non-metal gains electrons to form anion. The electronegativity between the metal and the non-metal must be greater than 2. So if the difference between electronegativities between these two atoms involved, if it is greater than 2, then this kind of bond will form. So ionic bond results from the attraction between the positive and negative charge ions. So larger the charge, the stronger is the attraction, right? So longer is the charge difference between the two ions, there will be a strong attraction. So smaller the ion, size of the ion, again the stronger is the attraction. So let us consider the formation of NaCl molecule. So electronic configuration of sodium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1, and that of chlorine is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. So sodium has only one valence electron in its outermost 3s suborbit, which it can lose easily, and Cl has 7 valence electrons and it is ready to accept one electron to complete its 3p suborbit. And therefore, when sodium atom loses one electron, it becomes positive ion, that is cation, and Cl ion gains one electron and it becomes a negative ion, that is it becomes anion, right? So we can see sodium atom has one electron in its outermost shell. When it loses this electron, it becomes a sodium ion. And chlorine, it has 7 electrons in its outermost shell, and when it receives one electron from the sodium sodium atom, so it will become chlorine minus ion, right? So we can say that the two ions attract each other with Coulombic forces which lead to the formation of an electrovalent or ionic bond between two neighboring sodium and chlorine ions, right? So we can say that the ionic bond is formed between sodium and chlorine ions, right? So at the same time, the two ions achieve noble gas configuration also, right? So they have their outermost shells, they are filled. That means the sodium plus ion that achieves the neon structure, that is 2,8 kind of structure, and chlorine minus ion achieve the argon structure, that is 2,8,8 kind of structure. So in general, in the formation of an ionic compound, a positive ion A plus combines with a negative ion B minus to give a molecule AB, right? So when atoms from an ionic compound, their electrons are shifted to the other atoms, but the overall number of protons and electrons of the combined atoms or molecule remain equal and unchanged, and therefore the compound is neutral, right? So here we can see the sodium atom, which has one electron in its outermost shell, that is 3s cell, and chlorine, which need one electron, right? So in order to complete this outermost electronic configuration, it need one electrons, right? So this sodium, when it comes closer to that of the chlorine, it can give this electron to the chlorine atom, and the ions are formed, right? So when the NaCl molecule is formed, then the electron from sodium atom is given to the chlorine atom, right? So NaCl molecule, right? Let us now study the covalent bonds. A covalent bond is formed when two similar or dissimilar atoms achieve stability by sharing valence electrons between themselves. This bond is formed between the two atoms by sharing the pairs of electrons between the two atoms. This bonding force arises due to the presence of shared electrons. So by sharing the electrons, the two atoms acquire a noble gas configuration. The compound so formed is called as covalent or non-polar compound. So covalent bonds form between two non-metals, so group 14 to 17 on the periodic table. So two atoms can share up to 3 pairs of electrons. So one if they share one shared pair, then the single bond will be formed. When two pairs are shared between the two atoms, then double covalent bond will be formed. And when they share 3 electron pairs in between them, then the triple covalent bond will be formed, right? So each shared pair represents a line in a structural formula. For example, in the hydrogen, that means H2 molecule, we can say the single line, that means it is a single covalent bond. So the main goal of bonding is to fill the outer energy level of atoms to become stable, right? So the valence electrons are the electrons in the outermost energy levels of an atom, right? So the electron dot diagrams show the valence electrons as dots surrounding the chemical bonds, right? So the chemical symbol represent the nucleus and all inner level electrons, and the dots shows the only the valence electrons, right? So we know that the valence electrons only take part in the bonding, and therefore we show this dot structure. So this is called as Lewis dot structure or Lewis dot diagrams or electron dot diagrams. So electron dot diagrams show only the electrons in the outer energy levels of an atom. Now, when each hydrogen shares one pair of electron with the oxygen atom, we can say the water molecule will be formed. So, let us study the formation of hydrogen molecule or H2 molecule, right? So, each hydrogen atom has 1s1 electronic configuration, that means it has one electron, right? When they share this electron, the H2 molecule will be formed, right? So, they will achieve the helium 2 kind of configuration, that means outermost shell or 1s shell will be having 2 electrons, right? So it will be completely filled. So in the case of chlorine or Cl2 molecule, we know that in chlorine atom has 7 electrons in its outermost shell, right? So when Cl2 molecule will be formed, these two atoms they will share one electron with the other chlorine atom, and therefore they can achieve the stable electronic configuration by sharing one electron pair in between them. So this is Cl2 molecule. Again we can see in the formation of HCl molecule also, the hydrogen atom it can share one electron with the chlorine atom, and both the hydrogen and chlorine they can achieve the stable configuration, right? Another example is methane molecule. So in the case of methane also, carbon we know that it has 4 electrons in the outermost shell, and hydrogen has 1 electron in its 1s shell. So when the one carbon atom shares 4 electrons with the 4 hydrogen atoms, they can form a CH4 molecule. So water molecule formation is also an example of this covalent bonding. So in the water molecule you can see the oxygen atom has 6 electrons in the outermost shell, and each hydrogen atom has 1 electron. When they will share the electrons, so the hydrogen atom will share 1 electron with the oxygen atom, and this oxygen will share 2 electrons with the 2 hydrogen atoms, right? So the H2O molecule will be formed, and we can say 2 electron pairs will be shared between the 3 atoms. So this is covalent bond. So here covalent bond will be formed, and 2 lone pairs will be present on the oxygen atom. So let us move to another kind of bonding, that is van der Waals or molecular bond. So it was named after Dutch physicist Johannes Diederik van der Waals. So bonds form between inert gas atoms or different kind of molecules that will be called as van der Waals bond. So it is the weakest kind of bond. All the atoms or molecules or even inert gas atoms exhibit weak short range attraction force between the one another, called as this van der Waals force. So the bond formed by this weak short range attractive force between different atoms or between atoms of the same or different molecules through weak electrostatic attraction is called as van der Waals bond. So this bonding occurs for those elements or compounds whose electron configuration is such that little electron transfer takes place between their atoms. In a noble gas atom, their outer electronic shell is complete, and therefore in that case the primary bonds like ionic or covalent bond cannot be formed, because such bonds formation require adjustment of valence electrons, which is not possible in the case of noble gases. And therefore a weak interaction force exists between the atoms of noble gases, and therefore these forces are called as van der Waals forces. In case of noble gases, they are the only interatomic forces exist. So similarly, in the case of molecules, the van der Waals forces are due a result of the weak electrostatic attraction between the nucleus of the one atom and the electrons of the other, and electrostatic repulsion between electrons of one atom and the electrons of the other. So they include dipole-dipole, dipole-induced dipole, and London dispersion forces. So they appear in molecules of many different compounds. So let us consider the example of PVC. So PVC is called as polyvinyl chloride or polymer of vinyl chloride. So when this PVC is formed, the vinyl chloride monomers, when they will come closer, they will form a polymer of vinyl chloride or PVC, right? Now when two such polymers they come closer, the intermolecular bonding between the hydrogen atom of one polymer to the chlorine atom of another polymer, that will form a van der Waals kind of bonding or a weak bonding, right? So this kind of bonding is van der Waals bonding, and therefore the PVC material will form, right? let us move to another kind of bonding, that is hydrogen bonds. Right? So hydrogen bond is formed due to the weak electrostatic force of attraction between the lone pair of one electronegative atom and the hydrogen atom that is bonded to another electronegative atom like nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine. So the hydrogen bond is a type of dipole-dipole interaction formed between a hydrogen atom from a molecule or a molecular fragment, that means XH, in which X is an electronegative atom, and an atom or a group of other electronegative atom, let's say Y, having a lone pair of non-bonding electrons in the same or a different molecule. Such a bond is usually denoted by XH, right? So it is bonded with the hydrogen bonding with Y, right? So here both the X and Y are electronegative atoms, right? So X is from the same molecule, we can say, and Y is from different molecule. Now hydrogen bond consists of an electronegative atoms such as nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine, called as the hydrogen bond donor, right? So these electronegative atoms present in that molecule, it is called as hydrogen bond donor, that is bonded with the H atom through covalent bond, and other electronegative atom from other molecule or different molecule, so that is bearing a lone pair of electrons, called as hydrogen bond acceptor. Such an interacting system is generally denoted by Dn bonded with H, and which will be hydrogen bonded with the acceptor atom, right? When the solid line denotes a fully covalent bond, and the dotted or dashed line indicates a hydrogen bond. So in general we can say that A is bonded with hydrogen when it will form a hydrogen bond with another compound B, so it will be bonded like this. Or same type of electronegative atom can also form a hydrogen bond with the atom, right? So A, when it is bonded with A, so another A type atom that will be from another atom, another molecule can form a hydrogen bond with our molecule, right? So A and B are nitrogen or oxygen or fluorine, right? So the hydrogen bonds are stronger than the van der Waals interaction, and they are weaker than fully covalent or ionic bonds. So this type of bond can occur in inorganic molecules such as water, and in organic molecules like DNA and proteins. So depending on the nature of the donor and acceptor atoms which constitute the bond, their geometry and environment, the energy of the hydrogen bond can vary between 1 and 14 kilocalorie per mole. So there are two types of hydrogen bonds. One is intermolecular hydrogen bonding and another one is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So in the case of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, when hydrogen bonds takes place between different molecules of the same or different compounds, for example hydrogen bonding in water, alcohol, ammonia, etc. And in the case of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, the hydrogen bonding which can takes place with the molecule itself. So it takes place in compounds containing two groups such that one group contains hydrogen atom linked to an electronegative atom, and the other group contains a highly electronegative atom linked to a lesser electronegative atom of the other group. The bond is formed between the hydrogen atom of one group with the more electronegative atom of the other group. So let us consider the hydrogen fluoride molecule or HF molecule. So we know the hydrogen has one electron in its outermost shell, right? So 1s1 shell, and fluorine has electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. That means it has 7 electrons in its outermost shell or second shell. So when HF molecule is formed, we can say the electron pair between hydrogen and fluorine is attracted towards the fluorine, because fluorine has more electronegativity than the hydrogen atom, and therefore they have achieved the slightly, so fluorine has achieved slightly negative we can say configuration, and hydrogen has achieved slightly positive charge, right? So we can say plus delta charge on hydrogen and minus delta charge on fluorine, right? When another HF molecule come in vicinity of this HF molecule, then the fluorine ion of another molecule that will form a hydrogen bond with this hydrogen atom, right? And this kind of bonding is called as hydrogen bonding. In the case of water also, we can say one water molecule is bonded with 4 other water molecules through hydrogen bonding. That means one oxygen atom can form two hydrogen bonds with two hydrogen atoms of different molecules. So this is called as hydrogen bonding in water. Let us move to another kind of bond, that is metallic bond. In the case of metals, we have the closely packed metal atoms, right? So outermost energy levels of metal atoms, they overlap with each other, and the valence electrons, they are free to move or flow freely throughout the substance because they are loosely bound to the atoms, and therefore the force of attraction between a positively charged metal ion and the negative electrons in the metal, they will form the we can say metallic kind of bonding. So many properties of metals such as conductivity, ductility and malleability results from the freely moving electrons in the case of metals, right? So in this lecture we have studied the chemical bond and different types of chemical bonding, right? So in the next lecture we will study the theories of covalent bonding such as molecular orbital theory and valence bond theory. Thank you.